It is going a bit out of control when clearly the Indiana Fever are among the favorites to win the WNBA championship this year. But what takes it out of control is when you have people that play the role of reporter, and I can't even understand it anymore, man. But they play the role of reporter, and when they write, they have no idea what the hell they're talking about. So either they're doing it to get attention or they're doing it because they don't like somebody, or I don't even know at this point. But there was a power ranking done by Fansided.com, part of SB Nation, I guess. And well, let's talk about it. Welcome back, everyone, to another edition of Rudy's Rant, Her Game, Her Way Women's Basketball. We're talking facts over feelings here. I'm your host, Rudy Rodriguez Showmont. Appreciate all your continued support of this channel. As we are getting closer and closer to 10,000 subscribers, help us get there by the first game of the season. I know we can get it done. It's less than a month away. We just crossed 8,600. So thank you very, very much. Like, subscribe, hit the bell, leave a comment. Let me know your thoughts. Let's just jump right in on this thing. There's a writer by the name of Chelsea Leite, Leite, Leite. She is based out of Canada, and she is the editor-in-chief of Raptors HQ. I mean, quite honestly, she looks like she's about 17 years old, but based on the profile, I'm guessing she's about 30 because it shows that she graduated from college in 2019 from Humber College or University of Waterloo in 2018. So 7 years. She's about 29, 30 years old, something like that. Degree is in media, professional communications, television writing and producing. But God, dog, it doesn't mean you know dick about sports. And it doesn't mean you have any common sense because this shit is as ridiculous a power ranking as I could ever possibly imagine. Even to the point where we have the one and only Cheryl Swoops, who said that even with her, she thinks that Indiana is a dangerous team this year. Look at this power ranking. This might be the most outrageous crap I've ever seen. This is as of April 22nd, Chelsea Leite. I found her on LinkedIn. I had to take a look. I mean, hey, you want to post bullshit like this? Well, you're going to get talked about because you're asking to be talked about. I'm doing my own power rankings. I've done my power rankings. I got Indiana number one. You want to call me a homer, a Caitlin Clark beat off? You can do all of that. I don't care. The Indiana Fever last season finished sixth in the WNBA with a 20-20 record. Sixth in Caitlin Clark's rookie season. Sixth in Aaliyah Boston's second season. Sixth in the first time these three women, her, Aaliyah, and Kelsey Mitchell playing together. Sixth on a team that had absolutely zero depth to it. Sixth on a team that had no backup point guard play, no backup shooting guard play. Sixth with a tree stump playing power forward in Alyssa Smith for most of the season. Sixth with a coach who never understood that you're actually permitted to call timeouts when a team is making a run and making a 30-point lead disappear, as happened twice with Phoenix and in so many other games. Holy Lord. And sixth, when the WNBA sets you up for failure and gives you a gauntlet schedule for a player that literally got out of playing for the national championship less than a month earlier with no chance to take any time off her legs by also putting 11 games in 20 days. All of those things. And yet the Indiana Fever ended up 20-20, sixth in the WNBA, in the playoffs. Sure, they lost. But all that, they finished sixth. And Chelsea Leahy says that the New York Liberty are the number one team in the power rankings. If you want to say it, go right ahead. They won the championship. I disagree with you, but go right ahead. They were gifted a championship, realistically. So what you're telling me is that if a travel had been called, Minnesota would be there, right? Okay. They upgraded from Courtney Vandersloot to Natasha Cloud. Agreed. Brianna Stewart is on the downward slope. Sabrina Ionescu looked like trash in the finals, and who knows what her situation is. But Najee Laney Hamilton's out for the foreseeable future. She's out for the season. Okay, they're gonna be good. No question, they'll be good. Okay, the Lynx. Wow, this took her a lot of work, right? She put the two teams from the WNBA finals in the top two. Whoa, man. Wow. Traded for Carly Samuelson. It's basically it. Done nothing else. Same team is otherwise the exact same team. Okay. The Aces. The Aces. This was where it gets funny. My initial power ranking had the Aces at number 8 because I think they lost a lot with Kelsey Plum getting traded. They think they improved. I think they got worse. I did move them up to 6th or 5th in my power ranking. They're right up there now. They're moving up, but they're not number 3. They're not number 3. Their depth is limited. They don't have the same type of depth. They're very guard heavy. They don't have a lot of quality bigs. They have one real big, that's Asia. The rest of them are just bodies. Cheyenne Parker Tice is okay. They don't have a whole. I just don't agree again. Again, this is very, very limited. Phoenix Mercury. How the fuck could you have the Phoenix Mercury number 4? What? They just lost their franchise for the last decade. Diana Taurasi and Brittany Griner gone. You brought in Alyssa Thomas. You brought in Satu Sabali, who is the fakest unicorn on earth. Not very good. Way overhyped. Kalani Brown, Ka Copper's the only. So Ka Copper's the only remaining member of the core last year. They traded their entire team. They got rid of their entire team pretty much. But now they're a bunch of talented players, and they're going to figure it out like that in a training camp that lasts 2 weeks long. Is that what you're saying? Chelsea. Again, ridiculous. This is outrageous. At best, Phoenix is probably 7 or 8. 7 or 8. Seattle. Okay, we traded our top scorer from Seattle. Do I think that they're going to be mortally wounded by that trade? No. They picked up the number 2 pick. Let's see what Dominique Malanga can do. They have Lexi Brown, Gabby Williams, Skylar Diggins-Smith, Nneka Ogwumike, Ezzy Magbagor, Alicia Clark. I got Seattle in that 6 range, 6-7 range, maybe 8, 6-7 range. 5th? They traded. I am not a big fan of Jewel Lloyd, but they traded their leading scorer. Who's going to pick up the slack? That's a question. It has to be answered. But yet you have them in the same spot they were in last year? Okay. No sense at all. And then you get to Indiana. Whew. God. Added experience of DeWanna Bonner, Natasha Howard, along with re-signing Kelsey Mitchell. They added freaking Sophie Cunningham. They got a new head coach who led their team, who was in the league semis, and yet you got them at 6. Make that shit make sense. 6th? 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 flabbergasting. Flabbergasting. There's no logic to this. So they've made massive improvements with their roster. Their depth is crazy now. Look, if you don't think they're going to win the championship, hey man, I'm not going to argue with you on that. You have that right to have that opinion, and you might be right. They might not win the championship. I think they will, but you might be right. However, to sit here and say that the team that finished sixth in the WNBA last year, with what they had and made all kinds of roster improvements, in your opinion, is the same as it was last year? Are you telling me that with a straight face, Chelsea Lady? And see, I've seen some videos where people refer, hey, Ben Daniel did a video and I saw his and I was like, oh shit. And people asked me about this 2 days ago, yesterday, I think it was. And I was like, I hadn't even seen it yet. But he did a video referred to him as the old media. She's not old media. That's what's crazy. This is a 29-year-old little girl. She's a child. She looks like she's 17. I'm looking at her LinkedIn page. She looks like she's 17 years old. Freelance writer covering the Toronto Raptors, NBA, WNBA, Canadian women's and men's basketball programs. Blase, blase. Editor-in-chief for the Raptors HQ and SB Nation Toronto Raptors blog. Why is the SB Nation Toronto's Raptors blog doing the power rankings for the WNBA for SB Nation? I'm just curious. What is her extensive experience covering the WNBA when you're in Toronto? They don't even have a team yet. Yeah, they're going to have one, I know. They don't even have a team yet in the city. Like I said, I'm looking at the background. 4 years, contract part-time, SB Nation, whatever, Raptors HQ. Before that, don't even know what the hell this is. Before that, don't even know what the hell this is. I'm not knocking the hustle and all that shit, but if you don't know basketball, like really know basketball, you shouldn't be writing about it. So when she's not even an old media type of person. She's just a young and dumb, bluntly. Sorry, not trying to be offensive, but I don't fucking care. When you post some shit like this, yet you got, 13 Golden State, 12 Connecticut, 11 Washington, 10 Chicago, 9 Los Angeles. The Los Angeles Sparks made massive improvements. And you think that they're the 9? The Dallas Wings were the worst team in the WNBA last year. And they jump ahead of the Sparks? Weren't they the worst team, or was the Sparks the worst team? They were both pretty freaking bad. No, the Sparks were the worst team. Yeah, the Sparks were the worst team. They were worse. They were, I think, a game or 2 behind. Let me just confirm. Yeah, the Sparks were 1 game behind the Wings. Look, I think the Wings are going to be better as well. It's funny how she has so much confidence, though, in the Wings, jumping from a 9-win team to having them in the playoffs. Interesting. A 9-win team. That means to make the playoffs, you're going to have to probably win 17, 18, 19, maybe 20 games. That finishes you at 20-24. So she thinks that the additions of Paige Beckers and Dejanay Carrington changed the Dallas Wings from a 9-win team to a 20-win team. But the additions of DeWanna Bonner, Natasha Howard, and Sophie Cunningham, not even including the, pickup of Bree Turner and Michaela Timpson in this draft, would make Indiana better than the same exact shit it was last year. Make that make sense. You can't. There's nothing that makes sense about this. Zero. It's another example of the ultimate ultra disrespect that these puppets who subscribe to some bullshit continue to push. You cannot be serious saying that the Indiana Fever are number 6 in power rankings with the improvements of this roster, and they finished there last year. Let's take a quick look at something. I'm curious. Maybe I'll be surprised. Maybe I'll be shocked. I'm not sure. But I'll tell you right now, here are the current odds to win the WNBA championship. And you know who's not number 6? Indiana. Indiana's odds are literally in line with that of the Aces and the Lynx. The Liberty are a prohibitive favorite in betting odds, 210 to 230. Vegas is 330 to 350. Lynx are 350 to 400, and Fever is 380 to 400. After that is Phoenix at plus 1,200. Come on, man. Come on. Come on. And if you look at the ESPN one, that here I'm looking at right here, Indiana's number 2 at plus 350, ahead of the Lynx, tied with the Aces at plus 350. Maybe they're doing it by alphabetical order there, but she has them at 6. Yeah, y'all make this make sense. What do y'all think of this crap? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Love to hear what you have to say. What do you know? What's new? Like, subscribe, and follow. Leave a comment. Let me know your thoughts. I appreciate y'all. This is Rudy's Rant, Her Game, Her Way Women's Basketball. Come on now.